welcome back to Angie's Jungle House. Now this is probably my favorite corner of the room. Not all these plants belong here. Some of the plants, in fact, from the last haul do belong here. I've kind of rearranged it in like an order of importance kind of thing. Like, I'm really excited about all those plants over here. But there are more plants over here that I am so much more excited about and excited to tell you about. So let's get straight into part 2 of my massive plant haul. Now I'm going to start off with 2 really exciting finds that I got. These are my other 2 hanging baskets that I mentioned in the other video. Here is my Marble Queen pothos. It has what appears to be sporting, and I have started propagating this plant already because I wanted to see what these cuttings off this particular plant do, to see if they retain the gene or if they revert one way or the other. It's going to be a super experiment, and I can't wait to see how it turns out. But like I said, this was the first one I saw them unwrapping at Walmart, and I have to have it. Walmart hasn't murdered it yet. Let it sun bake or not water it, or both. So I was pretty excited to bring this guy home. I did name him Clyde. I do not normally name my plants, but we're going to get into why I call him Clyde. This is Clyde. Clyde the Marble Queen pothos. Then we're going to move on to Bonnie. And Bonnie is a variegated Bonnie spider plant. It is super curly, super fun, in really super shape with all these super babies. So this is one of the other hanging baskets that I got from Walmart, and I had waited for them to be unwrapping plants so I can make sure I got first pick and got the nicest specimens. So with my really terrible sense of humor, I bought them at the same time, and one's name is Bonnie, so I named the other one Clyde. I feel like they fit really well together, and I am pretty excited about that. So I'm just gonna keep Bonnie away from the cats here. Bonnie's fun. Alright, because the cats will eat the crap out of it, and I kind of want to... I have those spider plants that the cats can munch on, so this is not one of them. Then I'm going to move on to this snake plant. I do believe it's a Sansevieria, but I think this one might be a bird's nest, and it has 6 pups, well, 1 main plant and 5 pups. So it's a pretty gosh darn good deal for, well, since I got the tag on it, $10.98. And I got this one at Lowe's. So I'm pretty excited about this one. Yeah, that's my Sansevieria unknown. But I'm about to find out. I'll do a little research. I can always let you guys know. Let's move on to this darling little ivy plant. I picked this one up at Walmart. I know that. That's where I get almost all my ivy plants. It's really a pretty simple ivy, and I loved the fact that you can see the veins. It kind of reminds me of my heart ivy, which I had bought a full planter of that in February this year, I think. And that one's much darker and slightly more heart-shaped. But this ivy plant is just is just adorable. So I had to have it. I mean, for what, all at $2.74? Come on. Then I picked up a jade plant, which he is really dry. I need some water, please. Okay. And I sprayed the leaves, which probably shouldn't do that. My bad. Gave a little bit of water for now. I'm not going to pick up the whole sprinkling can. But it's just I don't have a good feeling about it surviving, and especially with me, because any real succulent type I have managed to murder, and I don't, it's gotta be overwatering or over neglect. I'm really not sure. It's kind of hard to tell sometimes. But I don't really get along with succulents. I can get succulent type varieties. Something more like a peperomia or like a snake plant, I do just fine with. But for some reason, just the regular old succulents, I don't know what it is. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. So I generally typically try not to buy those. I know they're the thing. But maybe I'll get a little bit more into succulents if that's something you're interested in seeing some of. We're going to keep on keeping on. We're going to move you out of the way, buddy. And then I bought a rattlesnake plant and the planter at Stein's. There's actually 2 rattlesnake plants in here. I love the purples, the burgundies. I love them. This guy has gotten apparently an astonishing amount of sunlight because these leaves are really bleached. Only the one plant. The other plant is in fairly good shape. Looks like it may have been overwatered at one point, but I wanted one and I got one. And actually, y'all might recognize my Walmart experiment dumb cane. I brought him down here. I just don't feel like he was getting sufficient light. He has done more in the last couple days that I've had him down here than he has in my hall on my staircase. So I did trim back some of the ugly leaves, so he is a lot smaller than last time because some of these leaves were pretty bad. So yeah, that is my dumb cane, and he seems to be really enjoying his current situation, but I'll keep an eye on him. I don't want to lose him, you know what I mean? We're going to reach back here, and then I got this fern, and it's called a rabbit's foot fern. Oh, the other one's kangaroo paw, got it. It's called a rabbit's foot fern. If I had a guess as to why it's called a rabbit's foot fern, I would say because it looks like carrot tops, to be honest, don't you think? But really cute. I put it up with my green fantasy fern because that, for some reason, just absolutely adores that spot in my window. Even all winter, it did really good right there. So this one's a little more delicate, but I'll keep an eye on it, and if it doesn't like where it's at, I can always change, especially for my plants. We'll move on to, I bought another dumb cane. This one is really super full. It's slightly damaged, but not too bad. I picked this guy up by Walmart too, because it's got a different type of variegation. It's very white and dark green. I think it's absolutely gorgeous, and it's going to add a great pop of color to a different room of my house. Next, we'll talk about my Scheffrilla plant. I was going to take a chunk out of my big Scheffrilla plant, but then I found this guy on sale for $4. He is one single stem, so I'm going to stake this guy. And I'm going to start turning him into a tree. More like a tree. He's got a long way to go. But I'm hoping I can make good use of him. He is a little sad, but for $4, this is an experiment. And hopefully he needs light. He's really leggy. But that's my Scheffrilla plant. And then the next couple we're going to talk about, but I am not going to move. The first one is, I believe this is either some sort of philodendron or an elephant's ear. We're gonna talk about this. There is no label. Like, there's a label on there, but it's so bleached out that you can't read it. And you know what, I looked at the lady, and he is in really bad shape. He looks pretty good, but he's really only got one really good looking leaf. Like, he has been through a whole mess, and I feel really bad for him, and I'm going to get working on figuring out what exactly he is, I looked at the gal at Home Depot and I said, this plant does not look good. She goes, well, do you know how much he is? I said, no, he's the only one left. There is no tag on him. So she's like, well, I'm going to charge you the same as the white bird, which I also got a discount on. The white bird of paradise is in pretty poor condition. Like the bottom leaves are just chewed right up. He was like 13 bucks. Well, so I got $5 off each, so I paid $7 a piece for them, which normally I don't complain about the plants, but these two take so long. These are going to take a long time to grow, and especially the bird of paradise. To have it look that bad for that long, some of these plants, you know, it's like, I can bring that back. I can bring that back real quick. It's going to take some time. So it turns out I had gone to another Home Depot because they're close together. They're only like 10 miles apart, if that. So a lot of times they'll have a different variety. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to go in and check it out. Well, I saw the same plant and I didn't look. I can't believe I didn't look. I'm pretty sure this might be, I think it might be an elephant's ear, and I'm not entirely certain. But they had it for $25. Now, there is no way in my right mind, in a plant this condition and the ones at that Home Depot were the same condition, there is no way I would ever spend $25 on that plant. They are in such bad shape. So, I got them for $7 a piece. I got a really good deal on this one because I legitimately, I didn't know how much it was. I'm like, look it up. No. So she just gave me $7 a piece on these and called it good. So then on to, and this is what started this whole excursion. Like, I needed this plant in my life. I wanted a split leaf philodendron so bad. So I call up that nursery in town and I said, hey, do you have a monstera plant? And she's like, excuse me, what are you talking about? I'm like, a split leaf philodendron? A Swiss cheese plant? And she goes, oh yeah, we have those in 10-inch pots down here. I said, all right, I've been everywhere for months looking for this plant. They did have them at Home Depot for a while, but they were real sad. And for $25, I didn't want real sad. So I cruise down to the local nursery and I get there. And these are untrained philodendron. They are not straight up. I wanted mine trained. They were, I'd say probably 6 feet in diameter, which is great. It's a great size and they want $50 for it. But one, I can't get that in my car. And two, I want one that goes straight up instead of bushes, sprawls out. So I'm going to train mine. So I figured it's probably best that I start out with a smaller guy. I'm not going to move him. He's really super heavy in a nice drained ceramic pot. He seems very happy and healthy. He's only got 1 or 2 damaged leaves. He looks like he's been overwatered in the past, but there is a lot of hope for this guy. So I'm going to work on training him to grow straight up. And someday I will have a wonderful, beautiful split leaf philodendron. So anyhow, thank you for tuning in to part 2 of my massive May plant haul.